You were put in the fire, my friends, to come out as a beautiful polished gold ring. You were put into the fire, my friends, to be forged into a fighting sword, sharp, unbreakable. But if you never come out of the fire, you're just going to melt to nothing, or you're not going to become durable. A sword inside the fire is not something that you can fight with. It has to be brought out of the fire. It has to be forged on the anvil. It has to be beaten. It has to be sharpened in order to become what it was meant to be. And so when I say embrace the suck, that's what I'm saying. Embrace it. You're there. I get it. Feel what you got to feel. Listen, maybe you lost a loved one. Feel it. I'm not telling you not to. It sucks. It hurts. And it is a long process. But you can choose to either stay there or to move through it. You see, no matter what happens in our life, we can choose to either stay or move through it. Now, that moving through it may take a while. But as long as you're making progress, you're good. You make progress. Get up every single day. We talk about in Grit for Life over and over and over. The whole motivate your mind, build your body, and search your soul starts with 3 simple things to do. And I'm going to challenge you right now to do it. Get up every single day. And as soon as you get up, I don't care what time it is, as soon as you get up, you put something motivational on. Now, I'm not here to tell you that a motivational podcast or a YouTube motivational video is going to change your life. No, you can listen to one every single day and nothing's going to change because you have to put the change into it. It's kind of like taking baking soda and vinegar. If you put them together, we know that it fizzes up, it foams, But the thing about it is, each of them separately, you could have pounds of baking soda. You're never going to get the fizz. You can have bottles of vinegar. You're never going to get the fizz. So a motivational video every single day is not going to change your life. It's the baking soda. So what's the vinegar? The vinegar is you. It's you putting action to what you hear. You say, well, I just don't have time. Oh, come on. You're listening to all kinds. Pardon my French, but you are listening to all kinds of bullshit every single day, whether it be on social media, whether it be you're spending time, just put it on in the background. I promise you that your subconscious will pick things up that you had no idea. And then you become the vinegar to the baking soda. As you go through the day, you pick out one thing out of that video and it becomes your mantra. You pick one thing out of that podcast, it becomes your mantra. And just think about it. Then sometime through the day, the building your body part, I want you to do something physical that you didn't do before. Maybe you sit at a desk all day. Well, guess what? Stand up and then sit down and then stand up and then sit down. You're doing body weight squats or go for a walk. And then what I want you to do is journal. Now, I know journaling is weird. We don't journal anymore. We don't write. We don't handwrite notes anymore. Well, just text it on your phone then. Put somewhere a date and something you learned. Maybe it's just a mantra that you had that day, or maybe something that you were positive and you can go back and look and see over time the changes. Or maybe later down the road, you're saying, man, I remember I heard something on the Grit for Life radio. What was it? Oh, I wrote that down. I'm going to go back and take a look at it. See, you embrace your situation and then you move through it. And then you just do it. What do I mean by that? I hear so many times in this motivational and in doing motivational stuff, I get people, I'm as being an author, having published books. I hear people all the time when I go to my book signings or I talk to people about writing books. Oh man, one day I've always wanted to write a book. Well, listen, I did too for years before I actually wrote. And I finally realized I just had to do it. Maybe it's you want a better marriage. Well, just do it. You are part of that marriage. Do something about it. Maybe you want a better life. Well, read some books. Listen to some podcasts. Make a change. See, stop just being where you were. Because as long as you stay where you're at, you'll never get to where you're going. Do something different to change. I hear, you've probably heard the saying, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome is the definition of stupid. And yet I see people do this every single day. They don't want to put the hard work in. There's not a single person out there. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't wake up one morning and bam, he's Mr. Universe. No. Keanu Reeves didn't wake up one day and one day he's a nobody and the next day he's a superstar movie actor showing up in movies. Let's look at, you know, you can look at all the different famous people out there. Nobody woke up one day and just said, oh, LeBron James didn't wake up one day and one day he went to bed and the next day he woke up with NBA championship rings. They had to put in the work to change. They had to do something. So just do it. You want to have a better business? Just do it. The thing that I find myself a lot of times guilty of, just keeping it real talk, is I get these big, amazing ideas. And I start to do it. And here, I'm a motivational speaker. Here, I motivate people every day. And I am guilty of this too. I will start to do it. And then as soon as it gets a little bit hard, or I have my first failure, or I have my first setback, man, I get discouraged and I don't want to do it anymore. Well, guess what? If you stop doing it, it'll never get done. I'll never forget the first time when I finally published my first novel, The Nephilim. I was so excited. Man, this was going to be the revolutionary book. Everyone's going to want to read this novel. I mean, I had friends who couldn't wait till it got written. I was like, man, hundreds, thousands of people are going to read this. I published it. And I think in the first year, I gave away probably over 100 copies. And I dare say out of those 100 copies, 2, maybe 3 were read. What? I could have quit. I could have give up. And actually, honestly, for a couple years I did. I didn't even work on the sequel. Why? Because all of a sudden life hit me. I came around the corner and life hit me and the unknown was there. What if no one likes the second book? What if no one ever reads my stuff? Man, look at where I'm at right now. I started feeling bad, started feeling woe is me, started whining. Well, I had a choice to do. I had to embrace the suck and own it. Now I could either stay there and never write another book again, or I could jump back in and learn from my mistakes. Why did it not succeed? What was it? And we made changes. I realized that my first editor that I did was horrible. All kinds of stuff wrong in the book. I'm not, trust me, my poor editor now, man, I'm sure she hates editing my books, because if you look at any of my Facebook posts, things like that, I'm going 100 miles an hour. And a lot of times I read what I think I was supposed to say and I don't see the mistakes, and then someone else will point it out. And so that was the first with the Nephilim. The first time it was that way. The first couple covers were horrible. No one wanted them. I also didn't do any marketing. I learned from the mistakes. I said, you know what? I want to be an author. I want to write more than one book. I can sit here and whine and complain and feel woe is me and feel bad that I didn't succeed, or I could do something about it and learn. And I learned. And I will tell you, now I have book signings where people show up and they're asking to get pictures and they're asking to get autographs. They're buying the books. We're doing the books now on podcast. We've got all kinds of stuff going on. But it's because I didn't give up. I embraced the suck. I took responsibility. I acted upon it, put the salt with the vinegar, and I moved on. And I just did it. So I'm going to tell you right now, I want you to embrace your suck. Pain hurts. Betrayal hurts. Divorce hurts. Loss hurts. Failure hurts. It sucks. But guess what? You're already there. That's where you're at. Or maybe you're not, but you might be one day. Are you where you want to be? If you're not where you want to be, embrace it right now. I want you to say out loud, I own my shit. I own it. Now, finish it with, now what am I going to do with it? Because that is the salt with the vinegar. That is just doing it.